Alright guys, we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. We're going to be making some bottle openers. We're going to make these kind of like a standard keychain bottle opener, but with a magnet in the end. You'll see whenever we're done here, but we're going to get started, and we already wrote the G code for this, and this was a, I actually had to update PathPilot for this one. Yeah, like I said, we had to update PathPilot for this one because what we wanted to do is we wanted to make these grooves. Didn't want to have to type all that in for each one of those positions. So what I wanted to do was make a loop and have a variable that changes every time it loops. So I'll show you a little bit of that G code. So here we go. So this is the first thing we'll do this show you this facing loop. This is a loop that I developed just so that it faces the stock to length, and just does it without having to write a whole bunch of lines of code. That's the finishing pass. We're going to put a radius on the end, and then here's my ornamental grooving. I don't know if that's spelled right, but the G code doesn't care. So anyhow, so what we're going to do is we're going to, the reason we had to update PathPilot was because of this right here, this M98. The version that I had of PathPilot didn't have subprogram calls, so I had to update to the latest version, which is v1.9.3. So that added in subprogram calls. So what I'm doing here is calling a subprogram, program 102, and I'm going to loop it 12 times because that's how many grooves we have on the print. So anyhow, we're going to go down here, and here is our grooving loop. So we're going to call out this as program 102, and we're going to go to number 3, which I set as minus 0.125. So that's the position of the first groove, and it's going to groove down to 0.450. So it's just an ornamental groove, so just a little deep, kind of shallow, just so it kind of feels nice. And it's going to hold there for 1/4 of a second, and then variable 1 is the diameter of the stock, which is 1/2 inch. So I want it to then rapid back up to 1/2 inch plus 50 thousandths for clearance. And then what this line does is tell me and says every time you loop through, number 3 is going to be you're going to change number 3 to be equal to number 3 minus 0.125. And what that does is steps over the position of number 3 for each loop. So loop 1 is minus 0.125, minus loop number 2 is going to be minus 0.25. Actually, you can see it, probably even see it better on here. So so it'll just progress through those grooves like that. And M99 is go back to where the program called from. So after it does that, it's gonna loop back up to here after it's done on its 12th loop through there, after its 12th groove, and then it's just gonna go to safe Z, X and Z. Cooling off, spindle off, park it, and then we're gonna part it off here. So pretty simple G code, or pretty complex depending on how good you are at G code. Anyhow, let's get to it here. Okay, so we're turned over. We're sitting in front of the lathe here. We're ready to hit start. So we're gonna hit cycle start. And that is holding to 20 thousandths past where I want my 0 to be, so that my facing loop can work. So alright, we're ready to go. Call it's locked. So here comes that grooving loop. Alright, now it's time to part it off. And that's it. That's all the machining on it. So, well, that's actually the first operation. So that's the first operation. I'm going to get about a dozen of these out of this. Oh, I forgot to mention this is 7075 aluminum. So this is actually pretty good, tough stuff here for bottle openers. So I'm gonna finish this bar out in here, and I'll probably be done for the night. But when I'm ready to do the next operation, I'll bring you all back out and show you how that's done. Alright, see you later. Bye.